there's some economic news that I wanted to share with you. This is from the Financial Times, the front page of today's Financial Times. Joe Leahy in Sao Paulo, Brazil, writes, Brazil's economy shrinks by a record 4.5%. Brazil, remember just a year ago, everybody was talking about the BRIC nations, BRIC nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China. And all this investment money was going into the BRIC nations, and people were starting BRIC investment funds and, exchange traded funds and all this kind of stuff. Let's get in on it, right? Well, now Brazil has, their economy is collapsing right now. Russia's economy is in deep trouble as a result of the decline in the price of oil and the American sanctions, among other things, not to mention some serious challenges that they're having, particularly on their border with Ukraine. India is growing like a weed, but Modi is a rather problematic leader. Obama is reaching out to the new prime minister as much as he can and trying to be good buddies and friends with him, and I tip my hat to President Obama for that. But Modi to India is what Donald Trump would be to the United States. I mean, he's a Hindu nationalist who is very happy and comfortable trashing people of other skin colors, other religions, other ethnicities, even from other parts of the country, and has done so to the point where when he was he mayor or governor of one of the regions? It's been a while since I did the Modi show. This was a couple of years ago when he was elected president, or a year ago. That there was this slaughter of Muslims by Hindus, and he just basically kind of, I don't want to say he let it happen. That's a little too harsh. But the argument is made he could have done a lot more. So anyhow, that's India, and then China. China's economy is starting to settle in, shall we say. In fact, there was an interesting piece in the New York Times over the weekend about how billions of dollars, $500 billion, as I recall, but billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of Chinese money are coming into the United States to buy real estate, particularly residential real estate. A lot of this is Chinese families buying up homes so that when their kids reach college age or even prep school age, they can move to the United States and have their kids go to school. There's a lot of money in China right now because we moved all our jobs over there. We're going to be talking about that at some length in our second hour. China, when I lived in China, which was only a month, it was November of 1987, but when I stayed in China, shall we say, it was this was before any industrial revolution in China. In fact, it was the year before the Tiananmen Square. I remember standing in Tiananmen Square and just watching this ocean of black bicycles go down the 12-lane road there in front of it. And, maybe once every 5 minutes a car would go by. There were no skyscrapers. Beijing had not changed in 50 years. The tallest building in town was an 11-story hotel that was probably built in the 1950s, and it was either a Hilton or a Hyatt. And now there's enormous money in China. And the United States has this interesting visa, the B33 or something like that, visa, where if you come to the United States and you invest $1 million and you hire 10 Americans, you get a green card. And so you've got, Chinese who are coming to the United States thinking, oh, we'll do this. And then you've got Chinese investors. You got people trying to get, who maybe even with ill-gotten gains are trying to get the money out of the country. But the interesting thing in that New York Times piece was how much this might be driving a speculative bubble in the United States. It's inflating housing prices. It's gentrifying people out of neighborhoods in major cities. 1/7 of all assets in the United States are now foreign-owned. When Reagan came into office, it was an insignificant, inconsequential amount. Now it's 1/7 of all assets. Why? Because 35 years of insane trade policies, shipping all our jobs overseas, doing away with the industrial base of this country, deindustrializing our city centers and devastating them, turning them into wastelands, has been the economic policy of 5 successive presidential administrations. All based on this theory that Ronald Reagan and his buddies put forward, that if you just turn everything over to the billionaires and the internationalists, they'll run the world the best way for everybody. Everything will be fine, just fine. Don't worry. Right. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.